half a car at the moment.
As we try to trade our way up to a British muscle car for electrical engineer and petrolhead Adam.
It'd be awesome to own a TVR.
There are some big surprises along the way.
Look at that, it's huge, isn't it?
On a trading journey like no other.
Happy?
Speechless.
Well, it may be wet and miserable outside there today, but I'm not going to let it dampen my enthusiasm in here, because I'm heading south to go and meet a family man. He's called Adam, and he runs his own business. Now, Adam wants one of Britain's all-time favourite muscle cars of the 1990s. What he'd really like is the TVR Cerbera.
So I've been into fast cars as long as I can remember. It comes from my parents. They had sports cars when they were younger, and it's in your blood. The TVR Cerbera is my dream car. It's one of the last true British sports cars with a V8. I think you could park one up next to any Porsche, Ferrari, and it would hold its own.
The TVR company was founded by 23-year-old engineer Trevor Wilkinson in the 1940s, hand-building sports cars in their Blackpool workshop. As the decades rolled by, they became known for producing rear-wheel drive muscle cars with big engines and radical styling. Launched in the 90s, the Cerbera was their only four-seater and had the option of the powerful 4.5-litre V8. It's no surprise then that it's a dream car for Adam.
So I'm looking forward to meeting him and seeing what he's got for me to trade with.
Adam works from home and runs his business from his garage.
Hello, mate. You must be Adam.
Nice to meet you.
Adam, how are you? This is pretty cool. So what's going on here then?
Well, I'm an electrical engineer. I run my own business and tend to work out of here, building control panels.
Tell me a little bit about your obsession with cars. Where did it start?
I've been into cars for as long as I can remember. So much so, my best friend, he has an Escort Cosworth, and it was one of the main wedding cars on my wedding day.
Hold on a minute.
It had
So
to be.
most people turn up with a carriage or a Rolls Royce, and on your wedding day, you had an Escort Cosworth. You are a proper petrolhead. That's fantastic. You've chosen a particular dream car. A TVR Cerbera is an amazing car, but why one of them?
It's the only four-seater they made. The interior just sweeps. It's a British sports car. The sound of it pops, it bangs, it screams.
Have you ever tried to find one yourself?
I have, and the whole thing with running a business and a family, each time I had a little bit of money in the bank that I could spend on a car, something's happened and I've needed to spend the money elsewhere. So I've never quite got there. I'm hoping this is where you can help.
You're asking a lot, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Because you happen to have chosen a handmade car built in Blackpool that they only ever sold a few of them. So they become an instant classic because they're so rare and they're expensive. So when I walked up the driveway to come and knock on your door, and I see an old BMW 5 Series sat there, and I thought, please don't tell me Adam wants me to trade up that old 5 Series to a TVR Cerbera, because that's not going to happen.
Well, BMW's not going anywhere. That's my car. You're going to take the Nissan.
OK, so the Navara, now that's a relief. That's a, what, 2014?
It was the Techno model as well. Great car. It's served me well. I've had it from new, looked after it, it's full history on it.
Don't know, I mean, it's miserable and wet out there, so I can't really run round it. Any dents or scrapes or scratches on it?
It's got a couple of age-related marks. There's no big dents or anything like that.
So have you got that and something else?
I've got £5,000 I can give you to help towards the TVR, and hopefully that will be enough.
Cerbera's one handle for 20 grand. I'm adding up the numbers in my head. And on top of that Navara, I'm going to have to more than double the 5 grand that Adam's given me. And that's not going to be easy. And this end Navara and 5 grand doesn't buy you a TVR. But I'm going to have to trade and trade to try and get you your dream car. So let me take the Navara, let me take the 5 grand, and hopefully the next time you see me, it'll be sat behind the wheel of the screaming V8.
Amazing, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
These pickups are workhorses, and this one's had a lot of use. So it's up to Elvis and I to try and get it looking brand new again.
This needs a proper nose-to-tail detail. Make it look really shiny and give it to somebody that could really appreciate it. And if we get it right, it could be worth between £8,000 and £10,000.
To get the most money for this truck, we need to widen its potential market to include those looking for an alternative family car. So I'm going to list it on national car buying websites as well as those targeting trades.
Elvis! How are you, bud?
Hello, mate.
Come and meet the great-grandchild of that old thing that you constantly work on.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's a Nissan Navara, 2014. This one's the Techno Pack. Got the electric heated leather seats, multifunction steering wheels, air conditioning, 6-speed gearbox, and it's got the lockbox.
Nice.
If I was to open that lockbox, guess what you find in there?
What?
£5,000.
He's thrown in £5,000 as well?
Yeah, but he does want a TVR Cerbera.
Wow. I mean, that's a change, isn't it?
It is.
This is a great car. It's a highly spec'd car. It's in great condition. My question is, what do we do to it?
Needs a Elvis detail, nose to tail. We need to make it pop. It's so good. There's not much we can do to improve it.
OK, no, I can see that. Yeah, full valet would make this shine. This plus £5,000 is a great starting point. It's still not a straight swap to a Cerbera.
Absolutely not. We're going to have to really work hard. I mean, you're going to have to turn this around quickly for me so I can get it re-advertised and get it going. But it does give me a chance to go and play with that £5,000 and start trading. So let's see if we can make this young man's dream come true.
Like it. These things are usually used as work trucks, of course, but some people do use them as family cars, particularly if they tow caravans and things like that. So by giving it a super good clean, it feels like we're widening the target market to maybe include them as well. I'm starting with high traffic areas like the bottom of the doors as they get scuffed day in, day out. Using a hard plastics cleaner should hopefully lift off the dirt and leave the doors looking newer. It's coming up really nicely so far. Looking good. The seats are a little tired, so I'm massaging leather cleaner into them with a microfiber cloth to really bring them back to life. The seams in the seats collect dust and dirt over time, and they even start to crack the leather on the edge as people are getting in and out. So a little bit of leather cleaner and a bit of elbow grease really brings this back to life. Instead of using a commercial cleaner, you can make your own by mixing 1 part white vinegar to 2 parts linseed oil in a bowl or spray bottle. A full detail will help this truck stand out in the adverts and will show it's been well cared for. But a professional valet like this can cost over £200, so if you don't want it to eat into your profit, then it's simple to do it yourself. Getting into every single nook and cranny around the entire car. The dashboard's got so many little gaps, so using things like the earbuds is just get right in between those and get all the dirt out. Once the inside's spotless, a high gloss wax polish applied liberally to the bodywork will really set this truck off.
While Elvis gets wax in, I'm off with Adam's £5,000 to see a car I've had a lot of experience and success with. The Volkswagen Beetle. I found an unfinished project car that could be hiding some great profit.
This car doesn't even run, and that's why I've got the trailer swung out behind me. If I can jump in and take on this project and finish it off, then there could be huge profit potential, because these cars, they're on the ascent, they're popular. Everyone loves a Volkswagen Beetle, and it's all going to be about the right price. Hey up, how are you? You must be Paul.
Well, you must be mate.
I am. How are you, Paul?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
Very good to see you.
Thank you.
This is a bit of a worry when you turn up to see a car and some of it's in a box.
Well, we have all the bits to
Right, so
complete.
you're digging them out for me, are you?
Yes.
It'd be nice to see it screwed to the car rather than in a box. But
Well, there are some new ones in the other box.
oh, you have got some new parts
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Right, here it is,
Yes.
under the cloth.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit nervous, if I was to be honest with you, about what I'm about to see, because, you know, boxes are parts.
Well, yes.
I better have a good look at it, shall I?
Yeah.
Can we pull it off?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's sort of half a car at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
It's some bits of a car. Oh, yeah, look at
New
that.
spare wheel well.
Yeah, the weak area on these is this spare wheel well down the front, and that's all been renewed.
New headlights.
I like the word new. The
Yes,
word new is
new.
really good.
Appeals to you, doesn't
It does appeal to me, yeah? Let's have a look inside. They're not the original
No,
seats, are they?
They came with the car.
Suspension at the back is
Yeah, new shockers.
new shockers.
New boots.
Let's have a look at this engine then. Oh dear, that's properly air-cooled, isn't it? There's no engine.
No. Well, there is one here.
Yes! Oh yes! So tell me what work has been done to this?
It's all been completely rebuilt.
That is brilliant. This car has a lot going for it, but to try and get the best price, I'm going to have to remind Paul of all the negative points going against it. It's quite a job, isn't it? There's no engine in it, there's no body panels on it, there's no interior finishings, really. It's a big project. You want $3 for it?
Well, hopefully, yeah.
'Cause I think $3 asking too much money for the state it's in. Would you take $2 for it?
So the engine cost me £1,000.
Did it really? What's the best you'd take for it?
2.5.
You got yourself a deal. Well done, son. I've made a brave decision. I bought a car that's in boxes, and it is a gamble, and it's a huge one. But if we're ever going to move on to a dream car, it's risks and gambles like this that we're going to have to take along the way.
Next, the Navara is polished up and ready for sale.
It really is gleaming, almost like the day it came out of the factory.
And I bring Elvis our Project Beetle.
Have you really got all the bits? Because there's a lot missing.
I started this journey with a modern pickup and £5 to try and trade my way up to Adam's dream car.
My dream car is a TVR Cerberus 4.5 V8. It's loud, it's obnoxious, and it's fast.
The Navara is gleaming and listed for sale at £9,250.
It looks stunning. It really is a transformation.
Wow.
And I've taken a huge gamble on a VW Beetle that's in boxes.
Sort of half a car at the moment.
My target market for this car is the hardcore Beetle fan, and for them, originality is everything. Cheap replica parts are easy to find online from China, but if there's anything missing, I'm going to try and source the original parts. It's more costly, but it could mean more profit. The problem is, whenever you're buying a car like this that's in boxes and bits, you don't know if you've got every single part, and there's bound to be some issues and problems along the way, and there's bound to be things that I'm missing, but I'll just have to face those when it happens and take it on the chin.
Hey, mate.
Yeah, bud. How you doing?
Yeah, very good.
Good to see you.
Yes, Mike. I love these. First car I ever bought was a Beetle.
Fantastic. So you know him intimately. No doubt you worked on yours.
Oh, I was taking it apart, putting it back together every 5 minutes. I was 17 years old, but most importantly, I fell in love with them. I mean, mine was a whole car.
Yes.
Where's the rest of it?
Don't worry, I've got the other half of the Beetle. It's all in the boot of this car. It's a good, solid little car. Look at that. No rust whatsoever all the way around the car. New suspension at the front, new suspension at the rear. And get this, they've refurbished the engine. It's been completely rebuilt.
Brilliant.
You're going to love it.
Love that. I love the sound of that. It's got like an easier project already. Where is it?
The engine is in the back of that, so don't worry. All that really needs doing is the car's got to be painted and put back together.
All we got to do.
As you can see, it's had a replacement door.
They're not original.
Don't worry, we'll put original seats in it. What do you think about the colour?
The inside of this is actually really nice in the orange, so why don't we keep it orange?
Do you know what? It's in vogue at the moment as well. This is a 1970 VW Beetle, and it looks period. And if we get this right, we can really, really maximise the amount of money we can take out of it.
But have you really got all the bits? Because there's a lot missing.
OK, well, don't put me under too much pressure. If there's something missing, I will find it.
Well, look, the first thing we're going to need to do here is lay it all out, because we need to see what we've got, we can put it in the right places, work out what's missing, and I guess we go from there.
Right, OK, well, let me go and find out what we've got in the boot then.
You get all the bits, please, Mike, all of them. With a resto project like this, it's about being methodical and organising everything you have so you can see what's missing. Hubcaps, 4 of, which is good. These are little quarter-light windows. Chrome towel ring. Don't know that's part of the Beetle. This is like the world's worst jigsaw puzzle. It's amazing when you look at it all, isn't it, and think all of this lot has got to be attached to that, and it'll only still provide one car. I'm sending our Beetle off to the paint shop for a full body respray in its original colour, so the surfaces need to be carefully prepped, otherwise the new paint could lift. Just using a bit of wet and dry, which is essentially very fine sandpaper that's dipped in water, keeps the dust down, but still takes the high spots off any of this bodywork. Wet sanding smooths out imperfections without leaving deep scratches. It should create a good key for the primer to stick to, and by doing it myself, I'm saving us money at the paint shop.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. And...
Well, this is exciting. I've prepped the bodywork, it's on its way off now to be resprayed at the body shop, so the next time I see it, it'll be back here in its glorious orange colour.
Well, amazingly, and to Elvis's delight, all that our Beetle is missing are the front seats and a few small bits. So I've been on the lookout for original replacement parts. I'm on my way to go and see a company that specialises in second-hand VW Beetle parts. What I'm after, namely, are the driver and passenger seat for our car, the original 1970 seat. So they reckon they've got some for me. Incredibly, Volkswagen sold over 21 million Beetles in its 65-year production run. So there are a staggering number of original parts spread out across the globe.
You do seem to have everything here. Brake drums, window winder mechanisms. Fantastic.
Production of our original Beetle eventually ended in 2003. So places like this are keeping cars like ours on the road.
Seats.
Yes.
This is what I'm after. Are these original?
Yes, these are original.
Nice.
The only thing we've done is got them reupholstered.
Right,
That's
so they're recovered. Can we pull one down, have a look?
Yeah, no problem.
Nice. All right. Frames are good. Nice,
Yeah,
sturdy.
nice and solid.
Yeah.
These are original seats, so...
Well, I love them. I think they're absolutely perfect. You've got a pair of them, and
yeah,
they're really
yeah.
nice.
So you've got the passenger side here and the driver's up there.
Lovely. How much are they?
£200. These in great condition.
Yeah, hold out your hand.
Not a problem.
It's a deal.
Well, what a cracking deal. I found all the parts I need, but for just £200 gets me a couple of original seats. It's that originality that's going to really help get that car sold in the end.
The Beetle is getting its final coat of the original signal orange paint. It cost £1,200, bringing our total part spend to £1,500. It's a huge investment, more than half of what we paid for the car. But if we finish this Beetle in an original 70s colour and to a high standard, we could ask top money for it. In the workshop, Elvis has got plans for our original VW seats.
So the seats of the Beetle may have lovely, nice, shiny new covers on, but you can see they're really saggy on the inside. The filling inside the seats has become compacted and misshapen over time, so I bought some new foam online for £20 to replace the worn-out pieces, which need to be cut to the right size, so that it matches the profile of the existing seat, because essentially when the cover's on, we don't want to see that it's under there. A contact adhesive will stick the foam to the existing horsehair and keep all the padding firmly in place. Can of course trim this afterwards as well. Yeah, good. So, final job just before we try the cover on is to fit some of this light fleece material over the top of the horsehair. It sticks to it, it makes a non-slip surface so that the seat cover doesn't move around. Lovely. That's a really nice, quick, cheap fix that's brought the seat kind of back to life. Beautiful.
Okay, cheers.
After buying a Beetle and the missing parts, we're down to our last £1,000. But finally, there's some good news about our pickup truck.
I've sold it on the phone.
Yeah? Brilliant.
Not as good as you would think. I only got 8.5 grand for it.
Oh, yeah, I thought we'd get a bit more than that.
The choice for pickups is vast.
Yeah.
So when somebody made me a decent offer of 8.5 grand, I thought the best thing was to just take it and let's move on.
Our trading fund has got a nice boost to 9.5 grand. But we're still thousands away from where we need to be. So the pressure is really on. Next, we've spent a lot of cash and effort bringing our Beetle back to life. But if we can't fire it up, it won't be worth the money we need towards Adam's TVR. We're on a mission to trade up to a dream TVR for electrical engineer Adam. And the gamble we took on the VW Beetle is beginning to pay off.
Starting to come together.
Piece by piece, it's coming back to life. With the doors,
Look at that.
the radio, and the shiny chrome bits. The last piece of the puzzle is the engine bay.
So, the engine's now in and secured. Last couple of things are these heat exchanger pipes. So because this is an air-cooled engine, you can't use the hot water that you would from a cooling system in a more modern car to heat the inside of the cabin. So we use the heat passing over the exhausts here, take it through these heat exchanger pipes, and then pass it through a fan into the interior space to warm it up in the winter. Moment of truth. Right. It's definitely getting fuel because I can smell it. So I'm going to start just inspecting this ignition system and see if I can find a fault. Oh, hello. That's it. The low tension lead inside the distributor hasn't been reconnected when whoever put this back together rebuilt things. So without that, we'll get no spark. So pop that on, should be a quick, easy fix. Right, here we go. Yes! That's such a good feeling. Oh, it just sounds so good. It's such a relief to hear it purring away. Sounds really sweet. It's awesome.
Oh, my... Look at that! Oh, you're kidding, right?
It's good, isn't it?
No, that's not the same car. Have you just pulled this out of a showroom? Oh, you absolute lifesaver.
You like the colour?
Do you know what? Keeping it this colour was such the right thing to do. And what about the engine? Because that was already built.
Did a bit of a clean-up, and it looks great, and it absolutely sings. No way. Yeah.
Elvis has done a cracking job, so I think we should take our beautiful, bold Beetle to a place jam-packed full of serious VW enthusiasts. And I reckon that the Silverstone Classic show might attract the right people with the right money.
So why don't we ask 7 grand for it? Go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. Let's go in high. I mean, look, there's so much detail, so much love gone into this. It's not a rush job, so, yeah, why not? Let's go in at the top.
Yeah.
This is one of the most popular classic car events in the UK, with an expected turnout in the tens of thousands. It should be buzzing with car enthusiasts, all keen to see what's on offer. There's loads of 70s Beetles for sale in the classifieds, but none on display here. So I've parked ours up in a prime position with guaranteed high footfall.
How you doing?
I'm highlighting all those stunning original features so the potential buyers can see the value. I really need a sale. 1970 VW Beetle, isn't it? It's all in original orange.
Well, I've had a lot of interest in the Volkswagen Beetle, and why not? It looks absolutely spectacular, and this is definitely the right environment. But so far, only one person sat inside it. He's got a nice big smile on his face. Let's just hope he wants to do a deal.
I do like it.
Interested in buying it?
Would you take 6?
Least I could take for this car, and it would be the least I could take for it, £6,700. That would be it.
It's good to have a bottom figure in mind. If you think a potential buyer might walk, giving them your lowest price keeps you in control and might just convince them of a sale.
Yes?
Yeah,
Nice
done
one.
it, yeah.
You
Brilliant.
got
Thank
yourself
you very
a deal.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lovely.
thanks.
That's a healthy profit, but we're still thousands off Cerberus money. I need a big trade, and I've had my eye on something massive on an online auction. I'd just click buy, but before I spend our entire fund on it, I need Elvis to check it out. It's been shipped over from France and is now on some farmland just down the road.
Hi mate, I'm Elvis. I think I've come to see this. How you doing?
Good.
Hang on. Have I come to see this or that?
It's the caravan, not the truck.
It's that?
Yes.
You are kidding me?
No.
Oh my goodness. Mike said I'd get a big surprise when I got here, but that's enormous. Mike bought this online as a buy it now, but before we pay for it, I need to give it a thorough check over and make sure there's nothing disastrously wrong with it. I mean, it looks in really good nick all the way along.
All the way down. All your electrics are done internally and externally.
Tyres all okay?
Tyres all okay. To be honest, I've just towed it here, about 800 mile. No issues at all.
Well, that's a decent road test.
No extra work to be done.
There are now over 1 million caravans in use across the UK. This Avion left the American factory in 1978 as a European spec before heading to France, where it spent years on campsites being rented out to holidaymakers. Wow. I mean, it's like stepping back in time, isn't it? What great condition. It looks like my grandma's front room. This one hasn't changed in decades and still has many original features, which makes it quite rare and really desirable. What's this?
So, not an early TV screen.
Is it?
Yeah, lift it off here. That's all fully working as well, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. Well, it's a bit of a tricky one, this, because it's not the sort of thing I can take out and give a full road test to. I have had a good look around it. I've checked all the areas that I think need looking at. The chassis is clean, the bodywork is all good, there's no corrosion, lights all work, tyres are great. So I think I can give it a clean bill of health. But then, I mean, what am I, a caravan inspector? I'm not. Well, look, I mean, I can't fault it. It's like a hidden treasure. So whilst this has been a strange day for me, I think you've just sold it.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming all this way.
Thank you very much.
See you, Alex.
And if Elvis is happy, I need to see this caravanning classic for myself and make sure I've got a plan that'll bring in some profit. Look at that, it's huge, isn't it?
Well, that was exactly my reaction when I first saw it as well. It's enormous. But
I can't believe how big it is.
Well, it is huge, but it's great. I've been around it, had a look. The chassis is great, the brakes, tyres are all great, the panels are all brilliant.
Yeah, but for me, first impressions always count, and that blinker on the front, that could do with taking off and a lick of paint, couldn't it?
Yeah, but that's it. Honestly, that's the only thing I can find wrong with it.
Seriously?
Come and have a look inside.
No way! I mean, seriously. I love it.
Well, listen, I love that reaction because that's exactly the reaction I had. But my biggest concern is, you know, we've paid £16,000 for this. How are we going to make a profit out of it? What are we going to do?
What do you mean what we can do to it? Nothing. Other than painting the screen at the front, this van is all about originality. That's what people are going to pay for. And we've changed its market. Remember, we bought it cheap in France. We bought it to the UK, which is where there's a buoyant market. We can sell this.
I was hoping that's exactly what you're going to say, because I'm totally on board with that. I wouldn't change a thing either. I love it as it is. I'm happy to give it a proper, thorough, deep clean. But other than that, let's get it sold. Well, great reaction from Mike. Exactly what I was hoping for. He's already got a plan, which I love. By moving markets, we've already added some value to it. Caravanning's popular in the UK, and values of retro American caravans are strong. As we bought it for a good price, we should be able to make a huge profit on it once it's been smartened up. Used to work on Formula One cars, you know. Years of training. It's all come down to this. I'm using a shop-bought cleaning solution, but a simple alternative is just to mix baking soda with water to create a paste, rub it in and wipe clean with a cloth. Well, it really is actually giving it a little bit more gleam, isn't it? Just, I mean, there's little subtle differences of what might get this thing sold. Finally, the huge fiberglass sun visor needs reviving. I think what's happened is it's had a spray coat over the top in maybe like a silver or something years ago. A little bit of a going over with some polish after I've cleaned it might actually bring it back to a really nice deep black, make it fit in lovely with the Caravan's patina. The top coats reacted with that French sunshine over time. A rotary buffer and some polish should cut through the top layer and hopefully bring it back to life. It's really coming up amazingly well. So good, I haven't even had to buy any paint. So we've saved ourselves time and money, and it should fit in really well with the rest of the Caravan.
The market for these is growing, and there are only a few advertised in the UK matching our spec. So I'm going to chance my arm and ask £23,500 for it. I'm listing it for sale online on auction sites, and I'm reaching out to caravan clubs to maximise my chances of a sale.
Well, our American Beauty's never looked better, so I hope Mike has a bit of luck in getting it sold quickly, because right now, that's a lot of cash standing still doing nothing.
We advertised our classic Caravan online and through caravan clubs. And after a few weeks of phone calls and emails, it's finally paid off.
I've accepted a really strong bid for it, which means I can start looking for a TVR.
I've been offered 22 grand for the Avion, and with £1,000 deposit already in the bank, I'm feeling confident enough to hit the road on the hunt for a TVR. I've been watching the market for Cerbras, and they don't come up for sale very often, and when they do, they don't hang around for long. But there's one car that's still available. It's white, which isn't the most popular colour, and it could be why people are passing on it.
The guy who owns it is a TVR enthusiast, and he lives completely at the other end of the country. So I've asked if he would be so kind as to drive it halfway and meet me. So I'm excited.
The owner wants 24 grand for it, but it's been up for sale for several months with no takers. That could work in my favour.
Oh, look at that. You must be Mark.
That's right. Hi,
Mark,
Mike. How are you?
Thank you so much for meeting me here. I really appreciate it. Hey, it's gorgeous, isn't it? So why are you getting rid of it?
Well, I've got one or two TVRs.
Like what?
Well, I've got a T350, a Tasman, an S3, Cerbra, and half of one because I've got a deposit on a new TVR Griffith.
Have you really?
Yes.
Mark needs to make space for a new car, which puts me in a strong position if I want to make a bid.
So tell us a little bit about this, because it's not like the normal one. We've got the black wheels. Obviously, that wasn't around in 1998.
Previous owner did this because on the last production run, the very last TVR was painted white with black wheels.
It's got a complete service history. I've owned a couple of these in the past, and a weak point for these cars is that chassis underneath, because it's powder coated. If it gets chipped, it can rust. So anything been done to this one?
Complete new chassis rails, both sides, and then the chassis was prepared and wax oiled on finish.
That's incredible. Right, so let's look at this. Whoa!
That's it. It's the HAP Series V8. It's got a short induction kit fitted. It's been remapped, so it's pushing out a little bit more brake horsepower.
Like it needed a few more horsepower. Would you mind if I take it for a test drive?
Not at all, Mike. You're more than welcome.
I really appreciate it. Right, so I love the way that these open. You press that, window comes down, door pops open. All very funky green interior.
It is. Full leather.
I'm going to enjoy this. Now with the TVR, you've got the stunning looks, you've got this quirky interior, but then you've got another thing in one of these cars, and it's just nestling gently under my right foot at the moment. And when I get an open bit of road, it does this. Whoa! That is a quick car. got a lightweight body, a sports car chassis. It's got an amazing engine. It's the TVR Speed 8.
Known as the AJP V8, the engine was developed for racing use but pared back for the road and would surge the car to 60 in just 3.9 seconds.
And only TVR can design an interior like this. And you have to work out where everything is in this car. The electric window switches are next to the radio. The buttons and dials are all metallic and they've got a tactile feel, but nothing seems to make sense. It's got a white paintwork and a green interior, and that might not be to everyone's liking. It's so quirky, and I absolutely love it for that. So I think I've got to buy the car. So I need to get this car for the right price. For me, that's going to be 22 grand.
It's been listed for a while, and Mark needs some garage space, so I'm going to go in with a strong offer.
Now then, Mike, how did you get on?
Well, that was incredible. I mean, seriously, driving this car down the road is just an experience to behold. I really want to buy the car, and I'm so pleased you want to sell it. So I've had a really good think about what it's worth and its place in the market today, and I want to make you a real good, solid offer of £22,000.
22.
22 grand.
I was looking more towards 24.
And in the market right now, this car is 22 grand, and I'd have to be quite firm at that.
And that's your best offer for today?
It will be today. I'll take it away today.
OK, you got a deal?
Yes, top man. No, you've made me even happier than I was just 10 minutes ago behind the wheel. Thinking back to that unfinished project, the VW Beetle, to where we are now with a TVR Cerbera, wow, that's been some kind of mission. Me and Elvis, we've worked our socks off to get to this point, and I couldn't be any happier.
Adam's dream car's here.
How cool is that, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, that looks nice.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, it looks great, but it also sounds amazing, doesn't it?
It's the AJP V8 engine, 4.5 litres, very powerful, sounds throaty, it's everything that Adam wants.
I mean, great condition. It looks spotless.
It is, absolutely spotless. Nothing for you to do other than to strap yourself in and let's go and deliver it.
Love that. But I have to say, Mike's pulled something special out of the bag, and this one is as good an example as I think you're ever going to find. I love it.
Well, I think we've got the perfect place to go and hand this car over to Adam. It's going to be getting dark by the time we get there, but where we're going, it should be full of high-performance cars.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I hope he falls in love with it just like we have. I absolutely love it. I mean, it's got street presence, and listen to the noise it makes.
I can't believe the It's a proper British muscle car, and the value of these cars is just on the ascent. They're just going up all the time.
Yeah, well, they're going up if they're good ones, because there's a lot out there that are not very good. But this one, great service history, decent chassis. I mean, it's a really good example of this one. You've done well there.
And Adam is going to enjoy this for many years to come, but not quite yet. That's still ours.
And where better to meet Adam than one of London's petrolhead hangouts? It's the perfect place to park up Adam's TVR and finally hand over the keys to his dream car.
Adam, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Oh, great to see you. This is Elvis.
Nice to meet you. How are you going?
You all right? Nice to meet you.
Oh, come on, let's take a seat. How are you?
Yeah, well. Yeah.
Good.
How are you?
We have been on a bit of a journey, me and Elvis.
What a journey it's been. And I've obviously met your car long before I got to meet you, but that wasn't a bad place for us to start.
No,
it was
the
a
pickup
long
was
way.
good. It's
it
a
was
big
a
gap.
long way from where we needed to get to.
So we're dead excited to show what we got. Are you excited?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Should we show you?
Yeah. Have a look. Let's go.
Proper good selection of British muscle cars.
That is a British muscle car, isn't it? That's very nice.
That's nice. But, Adam, there is only one car that we're really here to see. What do you make of that?
Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. So much. It is a pleasure to do. You're very welcome. Honestly, it takes your breath away, but come round and have a look. It's a 4.5 litre Cerbera, so this is the AJP engine.
I don't know how you've done it. I don't normally go for black wheels. I think
It looks great,
awesome.
doesn't it? It looks awesome, yeah. It gets really exciting inside.
How cool is that?
It's just everything you wanted, I hope. Happy?
Speechless.
You are speechless, aren't you?
Not often lost for.
This is your dream car.
Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure. A pleasure, a pleasure, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Get in, mate. But to see Adam's face at the end of it and the genuine emotion, I mean, he loves that car. I mean, really loves that car. For me, that's what it was all about. And I tell you what, you got a smile that big right now. You wait till you fire it up and hear it. It's
Crazy. How good does that sound?
That's amazing. Thank you.
Go on, give it a try. His face.
I think he's happy.
I think he's very happy. Perfect.
It looks like something the Muppets would take on the road, but it's time to light the lights on a weather-beaten 59 Metro van next on Discovery. Joe and Amanda Martin are ready for an iron resurrection as Motoring Monday continues.